My name is Bella, and I want to share a chapter of my life with you. It's a story that begins with deep love and trust, then plunges into betrayal, only to emerge into a journey of self-discovery and resilience. My life once felt wonderfully complete. I lived in a cozy home with my husband, Julian, a man whose kind smile and warm eyes made me feel safe and cherished. We'd met in school, and our connection led to a small, perfect wedding. I truly believed our happiness would last forever. My younger sister, Valentina, was my closest confidant, my best friend. We'd shared everything growing up, promising to always be there for each other. When Julian and I married, Valentina moved to our city, and I felt my world was truly perfect, my husband and my sister together. Valentina didn't have many friends initially, so she spent a lot of time at our house. We became a happy trio, cooking, watching movies, and laughing. Julian was incredibly helpful to her, fixing her car and even assisting her in finding a job. I saw his actions as simple kindness, believing he was just being a good brother-in-law, a friend to my sister. I was happy they got along so well. But then a subtle shift began. It was so gradual I barely noticed at first. Valentina started visiting when I wasn't home, even bringing Julian lunch at his office. Julian began talking about her constantly, praising her humor and intelligence. I'd smile outwardly, but a tiny, cold knot started forming in my stomach. I dismissed it, telling myself I was being absurd. Julian loved me, and Valentina was my sister. They were family. One day on my birthday, Julian gave me a beautiful silver necklace with a small heart. I adored it and wore it daily. A week later, Valentina came for dinner, wearing a similar yet more elaborate silver heart necklace with a small diamond. Seeing it, my own necklace suddenly felt insignificant. I tried to convince myself it was just jewelry, that I was simply being jealous, a feeling I disliked. Then Julian started working late, citing a major project. He'd come home exhausted, sometimes falling asleep on the sofa. I felt sorry for him, thinking he was working so hard for us. One night, he was exceptionally late. When I called his office, a sleepy voice informed me everyone had left hours ago. My hands began to tremble. An hour later, Julian arrived. He tried to kiss me, but I pulled away. I confronted him about his whereabouts, and he quickly claimed he'd been out for a drink with his boss, his phone dead. He showed me the black screen. I desperately wanted to believe him, but a strange floral scent clung to him, Valentina's favorite perfume. My body went cold. When I mentioned the scent, he quickly attributed it to his female boss. He then retreated to the bedroom, leaving me alone in the quiet living room, feeling utterly isolated. For the next week, I tried to push away my suspicions. I convinced myself I was overthinking, that everything was fine. I resolved to be a better wife and sister, to trust them completely. I met Valentina for coffee, hoping to reconnect. I tentatively mentioned feeling a little left out by her and Julian's closeness. She laughed, reassuring me that I was Julian's wife, the most important person, and that she was just my little sister whom he helped because I wanted him to. She held my hand, her sincerity making me feel ashamed of my doubts. I left feeling much lighter, determined to trust. A month later, our 5th wedding anniversary approached. I planned a surprise romantic trip to a beautiful mountain house by a lake. I was so excited to tell Julian. When I did, his face fell. He claimed he couldn't go due to an urgent deadline for his big project, requiring him to work all weekend. My heart sank. I canceled the trip, feeling a profound emptiness. The next day, a Friday, I left work early, wanting only to escape my sadness. On my way home, my friend Kate called. Sensing my low spirits, she asked what was wrong. I explained about Julian's work and the canceled trip. There was a pause. "He's working. Are you sure?" Kate asked, her voice odd. I confirmed, asking why. Hesitantly, Kate explained she was in the small town near the mountains for the day and thought she'd just seen Julian. My heart stopped. "No, that's impossible. He's at work." Kate continued. "I'm sure it was him, Bella. He was with a woman. They were laughing, holding hands, going into that nice restaurant." My blood ran cold. I whispered, "A woman? What did she look like?" Kate's next words confirmed my deepest fear. She had long blonde hair. I think it was Valentina. The phone slipped from my hand. My sister, my husband, holding hands in the very town where I'd booked our anniversary getaway. It wasn't a work project. It was a lie. Everything was a lie. I drove home in a daze, tears blurring my vision. The house was empty, just as I knew it would be. Every corner, every object was a painful reminder of a life built on deceit. I couldn't stay. I drove for 2 hours to my parents' house, crying the entire way for my broken heart, my shattered trust, and the family I thought I had. My parents, seeing my pain, simply held me and cared for me without asking many questions. On Sunday night, I knew I had to return and face them. My house no longer felt like home. Julian was there, looking disheveled and distraught. He tried to hug me, but I pushed him away. "Don't touch me," I said, my voice cold and unfamiliar. "I know, Julian. I know about you and Valentina." His face went pale. I recounted Kate's sighting, asking if Valentina was his boss. He stammered, "It's not what you think." I laughed, a harsh, broken sound. "You lied to me. You canceled our anniversary trip to be with my sister. What am I supposed to think?" He claimed he loved me, but I shook my head. "No, you don't. You don't lie to someone you love. You don't hurt someone you love like this." Tears streamed down my face. "How long, Julian?" he confessed. "A few months." The late nights, the perfume, the necklace, it all clicked into place. My heart shattered. "Get out," I commanded. He pleaded. "We can fix this. I made a mistake." "This wasn't a mistake," I screamed. "This was a choice. You chose to hurt me. You chose her. So now you can go to her." He saw the resolve in my eyes. He packed a bag, offered a final hollow apology, and left. I was alone. The next day, Valentina arrived. I opened the door before she could knock. "Why?" I asked, the only word I could manage. "Why, Valentina? You're my sister, my best friend. I loved you. I trusted you." Tears streamed down her face as she claimed she loved me too and never meant to hurt me. "You never wanted to hurt me?" I retorted, my voice rising. "You slept with my husband. You lied to my face for months. How is that not hurting me?" She cried that it just happened, that she was lonely and he was kind. "You couldn't stop it?" I challenged. "You could have stopped it at any time. You could have thought about me, your sister, but you didn't. You only thought about yourself." She begged for forgiveness, not wanting to lose me. I looked at her, this stranger who was once my little sister. "You already lost me," I said quietly. "You lost me the day you chose my husband over me. I don't have a sister anymore. Please leave." I closed the door, listening to her cries outside until her car drove away. The two people I loved most were gone, taking a piece of my heart with them. The weeks that followed were a dark, empty void. I felt like a ghost in my own house. Every memory was a fresh wound. I took down all the photos, wedding pictures, childhood pictures with Valentina, and hid them away. I barely ate or slept, going through the motions at work. My friend Kate was my lifeline, calling daily, bringing food, forcing me to talk. She showed me that not everyone leaves. Slowly, imperceptibly, things began to shift. One morning, I woke to sunshine, and, for the first time in a long while, I didn't cry. It was a small victory, but it felt monumental. I started taking long walks, noticing the world around me again. I read books, escaping into other people's stories. I decided to reclaim my home, painting the walls a bright, happy yellow, buying new curtains, rearranging furniture. It became my space. During this painful period, I learned profound truths about myself. I discovered a strength I never knew I possessed. The pain was immense, but I was bigger. I learned I could be happy alone, that I didn't need a husband or a sister to be complete. I just needed myself. It was a brutal lesson, but an essential one. I learned to trust my intuition. That small, cold feeling I'd initially dismissed, it had been trying to warn me. Now I vowed to always listen. A year has passed. I still have sad days, still miss the family I thought I had, but they are fewer now. The good days are more frequent. I'm finding a new kind of happiness, a quiet, strong happiness that comes from within. I don't know what happened to Julian and Valentina. I heard they moved away together. Their story is no longer mine. My story is about a woman who lost everything and then found herself. One sunny morning, drinking coffee in my yellow kitchen, surrounded by my choices, I smiled a genuine smile. That day, I bought 6 bright yellow sunflowers, placing them in a blue vase on my table. They filled the room with life. Kate visited that evening, noticing the flowers and remarking, "You look different, Bella. You look lighter." "I feel lighter," I replied, "like a heavy coat has come off my shoulders." We talked, and Kate told me she was proud of me. "You didn't let them break you," she said. "You're still here. You're still you." I reflected on her words. "I'm not the same person I was before," I said. "No," Kate agreed. "You're stronger now." That night, looking at the empty space where our wedding photo once hung, I felt neither sadness nor anger. I felt nothing, and nothing felt good. The next week at the grocery store, I ran into Quinn, an old friend from school. She'd heard about my situation and offered kind words. Then she invited me to an art class she taught, reminding me how much I loved to draw when we were young. The idea sparked a long-forgotten excitement. The following Thursday, despite shaky hands, I went. Quinn welcomed me, giving me paper and colors. "Just draw whatever you feel," she said. I thought of my sunflowers and began to draw. For 2 hours, I lost myself in the creative process. Quinn praised my gift. My sunflowers on paper weren't perfect, but they were mine. I made them. I put the drawing on my refrigerator, a constant source of pride. Art class became my weekly ritual, each drawing making me feel more like myself. One evening, walking home from class, I saw Julian and Valentina approaching. My heart raced, but I didn't run. I kept walking. Julian saw me first, his face paling. Valentina looked scared. We stopped, 3 strangers on the sidewalk. "Hello, Bella," Julian said quietly. "Hello," I replied, surprised by my calm voice. Valentina asked how I was, her voice small. "I'm good," I said, and I truly meant it. After a moment, I continued walking past them without looking back. When I got home, I waited for sadness or anger, but felt only calm and freedom. They were part of my past, not my present or future. That night, I called my mother. "You sound different," she said. "You sound happy." "I am happy," I confirmed. "I saw Julian and Valentina today." "Oh, honey, how do you feel?" she asked. "I feel fine," I said. "I think I'm ready to move on." My mother was quiet for a moment, then said, "I'm so proud of you, Bella." The next morning, I sat at my kitchen table with my sunflowers, watching the world wake up. I thought about my old life and my new life, the old Bella and the new Bella. I liked the new Bella better. She was stronger, braver, more herself. I opened a notebook and began to write my story. The pain, the healing, the sunflowers, the art classes, and finding myself again. Writing felt like drawing, like making something beautiful from something broken. Later that afternoon in the park, I watched a little girl cry over a dropped ice cream. Her mother comforted her, promising a new one. The girl got a strawberry ice cream, smiled, and forgot the first. I realized that sometimes we lose something we love, and it hurts terribly. But then we find something new, something different, sometimes even better. Life isn't always easy. People you love and trust can hurt you. Your heart will feel broken. But your heart can heal. You can heal. It takes time, courage, and small steps. A walk, a new color on the wall, a quiet moment, art classes, sunflowers, new friends. It's okay to feel sad, to cry, to feel lost. But you must stand up again. You must keep going. You must keep growing. You are stronger than you think. You are a survivor, just like me. Just like the little girl with her new ice cream, just like the sunflowers that always face the light. If my story touched your heart, please subscribe. Here, we are more than viewers. We are a family sharing love, hope, and life together. Come, join us and be part of our family.